Before we begin this episode, a quick message to the CHC audience.
We would like to invite you to check out another podcast that we enjoy.
Hey, this is Jake and Adam from the Hopper.
That's right.
Cutting a promo, but we fucking hate promos.
Promos are tough. What do? We got to promote ourselves, but it's not really our fucking forte.
No, it's not. We fucking hate them. They're a pain in my ass. They're a pain in your ass. So you know what? We're getting through this together. If you hate dumb shit as much as we do, give the Harper guys a listen.
That's right.
You can find us at
iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Podbean,
Facebook, Instagram, theharperguys.com.
Twitter, at The Harper Guys.
Or shoot it.
What? Mama?
That's what we do all the time. Shoot us an email at theharperguys@gmail.com.
That's right.
Can't wait to hear from you soon.
Let's do this.
Hip hip.
Shitty-o.
Let you in on an aspect of the world that you're not normally accustomed to.
I could have been a totally different person.
Yeah, right now.
Since 12 hours ago.
Could have been wearing a business suit today. Who knows?
With a fanny pack.
With a fanny pack. Just classing up the joint.
That's a fantastic idea.
It's the only kind of ideas I have, sir.
It's Corner House Chronicles Day.
It's just different enough.
And here's the kicker, boss. They're all the same personality.
They're assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just 1.5 million asshole penguins.
Best part.
I'm going to try and pace it out, so just as you forget about me, I'll just pop in and remind you.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Corner House Chronicles. I'm John.
I'm Jason.
And the ladies are back.
What up, bitches? Girls.
Oh, they're in the house.
She's not calling you bitches.
I'm
She's
just
just
saying.
saying.
It's a standard greeting nowadays.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Especially
I've heard worse.
between chicks, you know.
I'm not offended by it.
No. That's good.
I wouldn't really care.
Right.
Ouch.
Wouldn't
I
do
don't-
you no
well,
good
no,
here.
I mean, you know. You know.
I'm not saying no fucks were given. I'm just saying. That's how I greet people.
I'm all out of them. Episode 81.
How you doing?
Jess, you're back again.
Again.
You stopped in last week.
Double header.
A little surprise visit. Things got pretty interesting. It was a good conversation.
I enjoyed it.
Parts of it, anyways. Other parts were a little odd, but that's all right. That's how we do things.
Let's roll those dice and see where they land.
We left off talking about The Office
We tend to do that.
and
time to time.
the hidden,
Little gems. that
the
they-
Easter eggs, as they
Yeah.
call them, I believe. We named a couple, and I was thinking maybe we could get back on that real quick. I know you watch The Office a lot. Do
I
you,
do.
do you watch it all
Not-
the time?
Not religiously like
No.
some people, but I've caught episodes, yes.
Okay.
It's hard not to.
You know the
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah. I'm familiar.
Your favorite was, it's been a few days since we sat down.
Yeah, there's a little gap in between shows.
I'm trying to remember which one it was. Mine was John Krasinski signing the cast, his real
name, yeah.
name. Yep.
Oh, Vance Refrigeration.
The wedding cake.
The wedding cake.
That's what it was.
On the top of the wedding cake, you know how it has the groom and bride usually? It was the bride and a refrigerator. And then the groom's cake was a refrigerator-shaped cake.
There's another good one was Creed has his mug shot up at his desk,
Yeah.
hanging on the wall.
I forget the name of the episode. It's later on in the series. They're taking the customer complaint cards and building like a house of cards.
Yeah.
And Creed walks in at one point. He's wearing like a suit jacket, dress shirt, tie. And it took me like the third or fourth time seeing that episode to notice he's wearing sweatpants. But I have not gone back and seen if he's wearing sweatpants throughout the whole show.
Oh.
Like that episode. Or if it was just that one take, like, oh, yeah. Pop in wearing some sweatpants. Because he's only in for like 2 seconds. He walks in like, what are we doing? And leaves.
He's always running away. You know, like he's always
Playing
like,
hooky today.
trying to they pick him up on the bus.
Shit.
What of the episodes you've seen, what's been the funniest that you remember?
Oh, I don't
Anything stand out to you? Doesn't mean any of us could.
Rattle on some shit
Right.
for a while.
know. I don't know if I can
No.
think of one straight out the box
Yeah.
like that.
Fair enough.
In Michael's office, that little certificate he has on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that is?
No.
It's actually the warranty to his Casio watch.
Nice. I do like it when they were doing the paper airplane races in the warehouse or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I like the one where they greased up the floor, and they were like
What'd you call it?
greased up the floor, or what they put?
No,
on?
I'm saying it, but
Oh,
the
yeah.
part where they come and he's like, tell him what we named it. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Shut up.
They were like slinging each other with the
It's
mops or whatever. it is.
Senor, oh man, now I forget, but
Yeah,
it's
I
like
don't-
Senor something, and they're like looking at him, and he's like, because he goes muy rapido.
Something about the Taco Bell dog. I thought
Was it?
maybe, I don't know,
Might have to watch the series again. I don't know.
the whole series.
Start at the
episode.
basement and work your way up.
There you go. Do you watch Parks and Rec?
I've seen bits and pieces, yes.
Same
That's a
thing.
good
She's a
one.
Yeah.
fan of Ron Swanson.
I am.
Me too.
Who's
He's,
not?
Yeah.
He's amazing.
He's great.
He knows what he's about.
He does. And you got to respect that.
You
Right.
do.
That's a family platter.
Oh, it's amazing. He eats in 4 minutes. You should stay and watch.
I like when him and that girl go to the grocery store or whatever, and they're like handing out like kale or something like
they
that.
go to
He's
a
like,
Whole Foods type store, and it's
Yeah, right in
vegan
the trash.
bacon.
May I have another?
Yeah, right in the trash, and she's like,
Another, please.
amazing. She's like, I want one.
Sir, why are you throwing out? So no one has to eat that. I can't give you any more. Can I have one? Yes. Trash.
So we're talking about TV series. I'm happy to report that I finally took advantage of the free month of YouTube Red.
Ooh, oh
And
my
I'm
God, he did it.
6 episodes into Cobra Kai.
Without me.
Yeah, watch. I binged them at
Ouch.
work.
Ouch.
Sorry, the boss won't hear it. But yeah, we've seen the first 1 or 2.
Two, I
we
think.
sat down and watched,
A while ago.
and season 2 just dropped.
Yep.
So I was like, all right, it's time.
And the first
Go
episode
time.
is free of season 2 as well.
right. But I didn't want to do that.
Yeah,
I don't-
you don't want to jump ahead.
So yeah, I'm 6 episodes into it. Have you seen Cobra Kai yet?
No.
No. Okay. You know what it is though.
Yes.
Okay. And I know
Oh, yeah.
you're caught up the whole season 2.
I haven't watched season 2 yet. I've
Okay.
caught the first episode free. I don't know if I wanted to use my free month yet or
Right.
not.
Okay. Well, I'll give you.
I mean, are they going to have a third season?
Of course.
They have. It's
Well, I
so
mean,
good.
Depending on how far back you want to wait.
I did hear a rumor about the ending or one piece of the ending, and it just says that there's going to be a third season.
They have to. Just
I mean, if
based
you're
on
gonna-
6 episodes.
if you
I've
get a
It's so
seen.
good.
If you get a free month, you don't want to waste it on one season.
Exactly.
That's why I waited.
Yep.
How long is the second season?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I don't know how long the first season is.
It's like 8 or 10 episodes, I think.
An hour.
No, they're like 27 minutes each.
Yeah.
Dude, you can. And they're
You
full of
knock 'em
80s
out.
rock and roll music as the
Oh.
background. It's so
And
awesome.
a lot of them will have the same music for
Mhm.
certain scenes. Like if someone's being chased, like Daniel Russo was,
Mhm.
it's like the same music. Or like a certain scene in one of the Karate Kid movies, if it's like mirroring that a bit, they'll play the same song.
There's one part
There's
where.
nice callbacks.
Yeah, the kid that Johnny Lawrence is training asks the girl out on a date, and he finds out she likes the stars. So he makes this. We're gonna go, sit on a hill and have a picnic and stare at the stars.
Aw.
And Johnny's like, "No, bro, you're Cobra Kai."
Yeah.
He's like, "You take the babes where I took the babes," and then it flashes to golf and stuff, and the music starts playing, and they do the bubble hockey and the miniature golf and shit. Lawrence is a badass. I gotta say this right now.
It puts a different perspective on the movies, doesn't it?
100%. You can't think about the original Karate Kid the same after
really
watching
can't.
this TV show.
Okay.
Not in a bad way,
Right.
in my opinion.
It just opens a new avenue of thought.
right. Did you see the Funny or Die video where they made LaRusso the bad guy? This was
Yeah.
before the TV show. You know what Funny or Die is? It's a page on Facebook.
Cannot
Didn't
say.
Will Ferrell start that?
Yeah.
Did he?
I think so.
Okay.
I can't say that I.
Well, what they did was they took the original Karate Kid movie and they edited.
Presented it like a
It was
documentary,
like
kind
a
of.
fan theory. Like
They
what
chopped
if,
it up.
What if Johnny was the victim and
Yeah.
Danny was
You're just
the
looking
bully?
at it a
Like
different
he comes in and
From
steals his
Johnny's
girlfriend.
perspective,
and-
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it flipped it.
He's
So,
the
like-
one that initiated
Interesting.
all of this.
Kind of took that little idea in this TV show, or YouTube show, however you want to say it.
Right.
It's fantastic.
Oh, it's great.
It's so cool.
It's 80s cheesy,
Mm-hmm.
but the right
I love
amount.
80s cheesy.
It's
I
the
like
right
some
amount of
cheese.
80s
I
cheesy.
love it.
But up to date,
Yeah, modern.
The internet and the cell phones and different things. So I was on the internet and I'm watching a interview that Ralph Macchio did on, I believe it was the Opie and Anthony show. And he said that when Will Smith did the Karate Kid movie with his son and Jackie Chan, he called Ralph Macchio about getting like the rights to the story, you know, to kind of play it all together because Ralph Macchio owns whatever percentage. So they worked out a deal where Will Smith got to do his movie, and in return, I believe he put up some finance for the TV show.
Oh, really?
I think that's how they got.
Oh, that makes way more sense.
They started getting it rolling and was able to start shooting and stuff. And I think all they needed was a pilot, and it was sold.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah.
This is such a good episode.
In another interview, Ralph Macchio talks about, like, over the years since Karate Kid, was it 3 that he was in? Was the last one?
Yes.
Since the end of that, studios and people have been throwing scripts at him for more. And he's just like, you know, at first I was like, I'm done with that for right now. I want to move on to other things. And then eventually he's like, I want to go back to it. He's like, but none of the stories were good. It was just the same story in a different setting. He's like, instead of Okinawa this time, we're in, you know, this part of Japan for this tournament. Or now we're doing this with this tournament, and this is the bad guy. You know, it connects. He's like, I didn't want that. It was all the same, just over and over and over. He's like, until the guys that wrote the YouTube one were like, hey, check this one out. And he's like, I read it, and I was just like, that's a completely different spin. He's like, yeah, there's still a lot of parallels to the other ones, but it's not in the sense of just rehashing it. It's like the next generation of.
It's like Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence will be put in these situations where it flashes back to the movie and the situation, then it comes back to them, you know. And then it goes even further.
Yeah.
Back to when Johnny joins Cobra Kai the first time when he was 12.
When he was a kid and why he joined and all that. And you just kind of feel bad for him at first. You're like, oh, wow. That's why he did it and why he was so
aggressive.
His storyline's cool.
Oh, it was well done.
The one thing I don't like so far in the show that I've noticed is, see, I don't want to spoil it, but
spoiler alert.
Johnny has a kid that he, you know, estranged. He's the deadbeat dad, whatever. The kid ends up working for Daniel LaRusso's car dealership.
Yep.
And so it's like now you start to see this where Johnny is training the loser from the high school that joined his dojo. And
he's the Mr. Miyagi in a sense.
Daniel's going to be training
his son.
Johnny's kid.
Yeah.
You know, and then you're going to have
and
the
at first,
All Valley tournament. You know, I can
wanna
see where it's going.
I don't want to give away too much, but even like Daniel LaRusso doesn't know that's Johnny's kid.
Yeah, no, he doesn't tell.
So it's like a secret.
Oh.
It's pretty cool.
It's well done.
Yeah.
Really well done.
And like I said, they're like 25-minute episodes, so you can, it's
you
over.
You can knock them out, but they're entertaining. Very good show.
2 thumbs up from what I've seen so far. Absolutely. I'm glad I waited.
I'm
so
not,
I can
man.
just
I've been
binge
waiting
it out.
a long time to talk to you about this.
How rewarding was this?
Well, there's still more I want to talk to without spoiling it for you guys. I know you were like, I'm probably not going to watch it.
I don't care about
I'm
spoilers.
going to watch it, but I'm okay. Like,
Right.
You're not going to absolutely kill the show for me. I'm going to watch it. So.
True.
You're not
But
going to
you
ruin
haven't
anything for
watched
me because I'll see
season
it.
2, you
Oh,
said,
yeah.
right?
Hmm?
You haven't watched season 2?
I watched the first episode of season 2.
All right, go ahead. Tell your stories.
Well, no, I want to wait till
Tell your stories.
we'll save it.
I know that John Kreese comes back at the end of season 1.
Yes.
And he's going to be probably...
Oh, no way. Sorry.
Well, it's funny is Cobra Kai is banned from the tournament.
The All Valley
And so
tournament.
Johnny Lawrence has to put on a suit and go in front of the board, which LaRusso
LaRusso
is a member of.
Yeah.
And
A sponsor of the tournament as well.
he's like, they said something about Terry Silver. And he's like, I've never met that man who was from Karate Kid 3.
3, yeah. Who
And
trains
then-
Daniel LaRusso, but doesn't really tell him he's a founder of Cobra Kai until Kreese walks in.
Which I'm hoping that they flash back to in season 2, Terry Silver and John Kreese doing Cobra Kai stuff.
From what I
That'd be cool.
understand, there is flashbacks, but I don't think he's in the show. I did learn something recently about the Karate Kid movies.
What's that?
So at the end of Karate Kid 1 at the tournament,
Uh-huh.
the bleach blonde kid on Cobra Kai,
Yes.
I want to say Dutch is his name?
So-
the character name?
I know who you're talking about. He's the
always like,
last one he fights before Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know who the actor is? Mm-mm. It's Chad McQueen, son of Steve McQueen.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. It's a little fun fact. Put that in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I did not know that was Steve McQueen's son. I would not have guessed.
He's the one that fucks his leg up, right?
Yeah, he's the one that goes, like, gets disqualified, I believe.
I think so.
Because he's always the most intense one.
No, he's not.
It wasn't the body bag kid.
I think it was.
I don't think it was.
No. All right. Damn it.
I think it was Dutch because he was always the most intense. Like, he was the number 2. He was the hawk of.
So, how does one acquire the name the Body Bag Kid?
Because he's the one that yells, "Put him in a body bag."
Oh, okay.
Classic Karate Kid moment.
You can't
Yeah.
not hear it.
That's true.
when you
And then
watch
laugh
the
like,
movie.
Like the music kind of, and then it.
"Put him in a body bag."
Fair
This little
enough.
weasel laugh.
Yeah, he's got like a bowl. cut
And they
or some
show
shit.
John Kreese and the kid standing behind him like
Yeah.
this after he says it, so you know it's him. You know, it's
He's all like
"Fuck that
excited, like,
guy."
"Oh!"
Yeah,
It's funny.
you little son of a bitch.
So this guy?
He don't look anything. You'd have to look him up in Karate Kid. I mean, that was 20-some years ago.
Is he bald?
No.
Oh, okay.
Cobra Kai, I'm telling you, do it.
Quality
it's a
shit.
free month.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to pay for it.
And you don't get ads, I believe,
Nope.
on any YouTube watching. And you get the YouTube music, whatever that's.
It's-
Probably like a Spotify thing.
It's
Kind
worth
of,
it.
yeah.
Just for the,
Just
the
for the-
80s references,
Oh.
the music,
He drives a Camaro, I believe, or
Firebird, or
Firebird.
a Trans Am or some
Whatever.
shit. Yeah.
Your-
Still pretty.
Yeah. It's not like 80s that you like, but it's the one right before. The body style.
Fair enough.
I know you like the Firebird Camaros from that
Yeah,
neck of.
That kid. Yep.
I do.
There
That's
he is.
Dutch. Yeah.
That's who you're talking
That's
about.
Chad McQueen, yeah.
I don't
But
think
he's not the one that yells body bag.
No, and he's not the one that breaks his knee either. I don't
I'm
think.
pretty sure.
This is the
I think
one that
it's
yells
the
body
other
bag.
one.
Yes,
That's
the
Body Bag
That's
Kid.
the body bag kid.
Then there's another one.
See, now I'm gonna have to watch Karate Kid again.
I know, right? That kid. Because he's like, Daniel, I'm so sorry. Remember, he gets right down in his face and he's
That is,
apologizing.
because he was forced to do it by. Yeah.
Because it would have been him versus Johnny
Johnny.
Lawrence.
As 1 and 2.
Instead,
But he
was
told
like,
him to hurt him so that way Johnny could.
you
finish
heard
him.
him. Johnny can't fight. You get disqualified. Or Daniel can't fight. You
He
get
automatically
disqualified. Johnny
wins.
wins.
Yeah.
That's what was the plan was. Sensei Kreese. Asshole.
Brewmation. Seen a little like teaser clip for the season 2,
Yeah.
and he's talking about brewmation, and Johnny's like hibernation because he describes what it is, but it's for cold-blooded animals that hibernate. They'll go sit and like wait out the winter, but instead of like sleeping it off, they're always awake, just
Ooh, that
waiting
would
for the
suck.
right time to come out. Which it's a lot of foreshadowing, I think, for the series, but such a good show.
I know. I was thinking about it when I got home from work. I was like, man, I should probably go to sleep for a few hours.
Bye.
I kind of want to watch Cobra. I'm like, man, I could
just
get like
not-
6 more episodes in.
Could knock out that first season, get a crack at that second season.
That's what I'm saying.
Did you sleep?
Oh yeah, no, I got some
I
sleep,
wasn't
yeah.
here.
Genie's like, how far are you?
No, this ain't like Lost. I'm not gonna tell you that I didn't watch the episodes. I'm watching them.
Such a dick.
She would go to work, and
Season
I wasn't
cheating.
working at the time, and I'd watch like 4 episodes of Lost, and then she'd come home from work, and we'd watch them, and I'd be like, oh, look at that.
Oh, I didn't know that was
Oh,
coming.
you suck.
Try to act surprised, you know.
Yeah. Just waiting, like getting suspense. I'm gonna go grab something to drink. I'll be right back.
How are you leaving right now?
how
No,
could-
it's fine. I can hear it.
It's fine. I'll catch
He doesn't die. Don't worry.
you. What? Nothing. Did you want something to drink? So I have a question. Since you guys have kids,
Yep.
have
We
you
do.
seen the trailer, and you're a fan of this gentleman for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
Yes.
I have watched it.
What did you think about Sonic? Because this is apparently
His
blowing up
teeth.
Um,
That was weird. His
I
teeth.
think it is going to be just like the Woody Woodpecker movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly.
The live action Woody.
Okay.
And as soon as I saw it was Jim Carrey, I'm like,
I'm still gonna go see it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's Sonic.
only because the kid wants to
kid-
see it. Right?
yeah.
Yeah. I want to take the
They
nephew.
want to see it. Yeah.
Have you heard the hubbub about it? So apparently, in a collective voice, the internet
Oh,
said,
it's blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck did you do to Sonic? He looks horrendous. Some guy went on and like altered a scene of Sonic and made him look more like Sonic. He's like, shit, if I can do this, why couldn't you? And it got to the point where the director of the movie put out a tweet.
The studio took action, right?
The director at first, and then
Right.
Jeff Fowler. He said, thank you for your support and the criticism. The message is loud and clear. You aren't happy with the design, and you want changes. So it's going to happen. Everyone at Paramount and Sega are fully committed to making this character the best he can be. So they're going to go back. They have, I think, September is when it comes out. So they have until September to go in and completely redo everything that has Sonic in it.
Okay, so
Redesign the character.
if Sega was involved in the first place,
Yes.
why would they let them make him look so different?
Money is a powerful thing.
I agree, but
And it depends on how much control they actually have. Whereas the Pokemon movie, which looks fucking amazing,
It does.
yes.
I want to see it.
I guarantee a lot of thought, and the owners of Pokemon were probably like, yeah, no, you're going to make it look good.
Right.
Because it's guaranteed to make money regardless.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah, I'm going to go see it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have absolutely no input on Pokemon. I can't even pretend to,
So, well, then you don't have to answer this unless you want to, if whatever.
Okay.
So, okay.
All right.
Okay. So, say that was like real life, whatever.
Pokemon were real.
Right.
'Kay.
And I know you play with the Pokemon Go app stuff.
Okay.
So, do you know how like you have your one little Pokemon out by you?
Yeah.
So if you had to pick one of the Pokemon, what would you have like by your side out at all times with you?
Okay. So I don't really play the Pokemon.
Even
Like,
just how they look.
I catch them.
Okay.
Hi, Jeannie.
I catch them, but I don't pay attention to any of them, like at all. So I asked Jackson for
Right.
some help. And his answer was that if he had to pick for me,
Okay.
then it would have to match my personality.
Uh-oh.
And he would just have Snorlax across the board.
Nice.
It's not a bad choice.
No.
No.
See, that would be my choice, but he doesn't do anything, so why just have him like sleeping there? Unless like I just wanted to like sleep and nap and cuddle.
Yep, that was
But-
his. That was his choice for me.
So, John, Snorlax is this giant Pokemon.
All he does is sleep.
All he
sleeps.
does is sleep. That's it.
I'll
You
take
know-
that one.
I read on the interwebs there.
Congratulations.
They did out of like from the very first Pokemon game that he was in.
Have you seen the actual
So the-
pictures?
Yeah, the pictures ran together.
Yeah.
It's like him getting up from a nap.
So every Pokemon game for the Game Boy, like to now, like each image of him, like the first one he's laying completely flat. The next one he's slightly like on his shoulder and then on his side. And then he's kind of sitting up and then, like one eye's cracking open. And then the next one, like both eyes are kind of open. He's up a little bit more. Then eventually in the last one, he's standing up. But yeah, they put thought into like if you run them together, it just looks like he's waking up.
Is it like a special character because he doesn't do anything, or
In the first one, you have to get this flute.
and that wakes him
he's-
up?
Yeah, he's blocking a path you have to go through.
Okay.
So you'll go there, and once you have the flute, you play the flute, and then you got to fight him. And if you win, you can catch him.
Is he a badass?
He's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really strong.
What's the strongest Pokemon character?
See, I've been out of the game for quite a while, and
Yeah.
there's been a ton of new Pokemon games, but I would have to say Mewtwo.
Still?
I would say so.
Okay.
I could be wrong again.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to what you remember.
Yeah,
the
what I
last
know.
time you were,
That's funny.
let's see, 96. Holy shit.
Back in the day.
I think it was a Tuesday.
This is like a fat panda bear.
Pretty much.
He just sits up, then he stands up. He looks way more excited in the 2010 than he does the 2014, where he's actually standing.
They could do more in
He's
graphics.
like, I'm almost
Yeah.
there.
I did it.
A few more years.
But how many years did it take him to stand up? That's the
Well,
real
from
question.
96 to 2014.
14, 18 years. No, I think it says, 17 years and 8 months or something
yeah.
at the top. I never, ever got into it.
No, not really.
And thinking back on, our history, I don't
Yeah.
remember when y'all were into it.
Really?
we
Like,
were.
what was I doing? What
I don't know.
was it? 96? I mean, were you in it right from the get-go? Do you guys remember?
When we took that
I
trip to
remember-
California, we would collect the card game too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, cleaning the house as I've been doing, I did find some of my Pokemon cards. And I was going, I have some pretty badass Pokemon cards, not gonna
Surprisingly, some of the original ones are actually
Oh,
worth
yeah.
some money.
I was just
lie. I
gonna
have
say,
a couple dark ones.
hit some fucking eBay on that
yeah, you
shit.
can.
You make a couple
depending
$100.
on, yeah, you can. If you have like a foil Charizard, I think the original foil Charizard is the most expensive card.
Well, I'll have to go back through and see what I got. But I
I-
remember playing on like the
The
original
Game,
Game
Boy, yeah, or no Game Boy Color.
Mm,
I'm getting some head shakes at me here. I remember playing
I
on
re-
Game Boy Color. for me.
Was that was the gray one though, right?
No, I had the green one.
I remember us having a gray one. I think.
It might not have been us that had it.
Well,
I
I
think
do
I
remember
just-
having the color. I'll agree with you
Yeah.
on that.
I think I just figured out why. I'm 3 years older than you are.
Yeah.
And how many years older than you?
5.
5. There we go.
That you were out. of that age
96. I would
range.
have my license.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was.
True.
There
I
was no
16.
way Pokemon was going down in my world at 16.
No,
No.
same here. My brother
Fair
and
enough.
sister
That makes
played it a
sense.
lot, though.
Yes.
They're more your guys'
Yeah.
age. Yeah. Like, they played it a
It's
lot.
crazy what 3 years can do at that
it?
time
Yeah.
of somebody's
Yeah.
life as opposed to now.
Mm.
You know, we're like, well, it's 3 years difference. It's no fucking different.
Exactly.
But when you're that age, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
They just solved a 20-year-old, 30-year-old mystery for me.
Have not solved the mystery of
20.
the bird nest though.
No. Well,
Nope.
But some riddles are left.
Thanks for
Unsolved.
rehashing that moment.
It's called.
I wasn't. I was like, I'm not going to bring up the bird nest. I'm just going to let it go.
Just let it go.
But my brother's a dick.
This is true.
That's all right. I'll never figure it out. I know that.
But what if one day you do? Like, I would like to be notified. Actually.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
That Facebook post will happen.
Oh, yeah. It'll
Okay.
probably start with how much I paid for the DMT.
So there I was.
Finding it out, priceless.
Talking to the geometric shaped demigod head.
Yep.
He said you get one question. What's the deal with fucking bird nests? Huh?
I don't understand it.
You know, it really grinds my gears.
You weren't out here last week when
Yeah,
we were
you
talking
missed
about
this
this.
one.
Yeah.
How do you have any explanation or any idea why birds instinctively know how to make the nest, aside from telling me it's just instincts?
No, we've had this discussion.
I know.
No.
Yeah, you
no.
guys have been
It's
together a while, so I figured this has to
crazy.
come up once or twice before. If this is truly
It's only recent.
only recent.
Yeah, a couple
Well,
summers ago.
Yeah, it started with him wanting to build the damn Coliseum
Oh yeah, the Fight
for
Club.
the birds.
Yeah.
I forgot
The
about
bird
that.
fight
Yep, I do
club
want to do that still.
in the pine trees there.
It is the perfect spot for
Oh,
it.
it's a
though.
great idea. Get a couple webcams going. Shit.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, folks. I'll let you know when the YouTube
The
channel's up.
GoFundMe's coming up.
Don't we have a Pinterest board?
We
about it?
do.
We're
Yeah.
set. We got the
Birdhouses.
blueprint.
We were talking about building bird condos and
Yeah.
shit.
There was a whole
Projects.
community.
Yeah, the projects. That'd be the background to this death
Yep.
pit.
Yep.
Pit of death.
It's going to be fun to narrate it.
Oh yeah.
We all get to do voices.
Excited about that.
I'm in.
All right, so should we talk about the beer real quick, or do you guys want to talk about Game of Thrones? Because I know y'all watch it.
Oh.
I mean, if you don't want to, it's cool. It ain't going to hurt my feelings because I don't watch it. But if you wanted to, here's the platform, the opportunity.
All I really got to say about it was Amelia Clark plays Daenerys Targaryen.
The blonde chick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
See,
She
you
made-
do know.
Well, he
I
know-
watched season 1.
He's familiar
Oh,
with
okay.
it.
I just don't
Alright.
remember hardly any of it.
But she made a post saying that if you enjoyed episode 3, episode 5 is way bigger. Like, find the biggest TV you possibly can to watch it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well then.
Why don't movie theaters run this shit?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
They would.
They run sporting
excel.
events sometimes.
Sometimes.
That would be freaking awesome.
So I don't believe there's one in our area, but there's a chain of movie theaters called the Alamo. Now, in this setting, it's kind of like medieval times setup.
Okay.
You go to your seat, you got like a little tray table.
What?
A waiter comes to you, and you can order dinner, like adult beverages, without leaving your seat.
What?
Is your seat a toilet?
No, unfortunately, your seat is not a toilet.
Thank you.
Well,
Which
small
Good with
blessings.
that.
Welcome to Costco. I love you. We're not quite there yet, but it's like a dine-in experience while watching a movie.
How far away is one of these?
Yeah.
They're
Good
they're scattered
question.
throughout the Southwest,
If they're Alamo, it's probably Texas, New Mexico, places like
Arizona,
that, right?
Oklahoma,
Right.
like that neck of the woods. But I believe wholeheartedly that they need to franchise the fuck out of that place, or
Yes.
people need to copy that idea and start popping up because you will make a shitload of money.
Trademark.
I think it's already trademarked.
Well, you know.
Shout out to Netflix. Get your shit together
Yeah.
and start your own fucking movie theaters where people can go in
Don't
and
call it a movie theater,
watch
though.
whatever they
No.
want
Exactly.
on the big screen.
Fuck a red box. Welcome to Netflix. I love you.
Yeah, I would buy into that.
Oh, it'd be great. You would be like, oh, want to go see the premiere of this movie? Let's go to the Alamo. Because then you're like, don't have to worry about dinner,
Right?
getting drinks, get an Uber. your night's covered. The future is wow.
Knock it off.
So bright, gonna need shade.
No, I'm just saying
Right.
it'd be a great idea.
It is a great idea.
I don't know why they haven't
Different.
done Game of Thrones on
Oh,
a
yeah.
movie theater yet.
Just
What-
fucking.
this
Or
whole
even-
last
yeah.
season they could
Yeah.
have done.
They could do just, all right, some of the movie theaters did all the Marvel movies leading up to Endgame.
Right.
It was like 60 hours of whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just start at season 1, have like a dedicated movie theater. Like, oh yeah, theater number 6 is the Game of Thrones theater. And you start one day, episode 1, season 1,
Yep.
and just
Dude, I would bring a
12.
blankie and slippy.
imagine like you sitting there and then all of a sudden, dun, 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 dun,
That would be
dun,
freaking
dun,
wiener.
the pizzas are on the way, I promise.
Yeah.
But that'd be an experience.
Now we've talked about this. You didn't really read the books or
I
enjoy
have.
the books.
I found the first book to be kind of a hard read for me.
It's kind of sluggish the way it bounces around, setting everything.
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That maybe it was just at the time that I read it, but I just didn't really get into the book itself. But I do enjoy the show.
The best part of the show, very little reading.
Very little.
Fair enough.
Did you read the books?
I did. I read like the first 4. I want to say. What is there, like 8 of them?
6.
I don't. My
shit,
mom's
is
caught
there?
up. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
caught up reading it, but I am caught up watching it.
The book that is this season isn't out yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Well-
He ran it behind. Or he just stopped caring because
It was a thing.
I'm sure he's making way more money on the HBO deal than he is on the book.
he
yeah.
owns his own movie theater in Santa Fe and plays like he'll like buy copies of like Casablanca and like the classic movies and just show those. He's like, fuck the new movies. I'm showing good movies.
I'll tell you what. I watched an interview between him and Stephen King. Like
Oh,
they were
yeah.
talking to each other on a stage in
How do you
front of a
get
group.
past the writer's block? He's like, I don't get that.
Dude,
He's just like, fuck you.
those are both some weird cats, man.
Yes, sir.
Think about
Yes.
all the stories that Stephen King ever wrote.
I will say this about Stephen King.
He should have bought stock in Jack Daniels.
Well, he was an alcoholic. He's not no more.
No.
He was in an episode of Sons of
He was.
Anarchy.
He was a cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Creepy guy.
Yep.
But he was in an accident. He was hit by a fan who's in a van and like almost killed him.
When?
That's how he wrote Misery, right?
No, it was after he wrote Misery. It was like mid 90s.
That's even more dangerous,
Like
right?
95, 96, I want to say. I'd have to go back and double check. But the creepy part was the guy in the van was like a super fan, did it on purpose, and had his 2 dogs, which I believe were Rottweilers. One was named Silver, and the other was Bullet.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But once he got hit, went to the hospital, almost died, took years of rehab to get like walking and all that, really fucked him up. But he stopped doing drugs, stopped drinking, got clean. His writing kind of went in the toilet because he did his best work while on coke. He even tells a story like one day he was at his desk looking for drugs. He opened a drawer and Cujo, the book, was just chilling in the drawer, had no recollection of writing it
Of writing it,
at all.
coke's a hell of a drug.
Apparently.
You can see that in his movies too, like the Secret Window movie.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp kind of plays the role almost of that crazed writer who's, off in his own little world there and making shit up, not remembering. I found that fascinating about his
Memento-ish.
stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite Stephen King. I know we were talking Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
but
but
real
it's
quick,
fine.
Favorite,
Favorites are neat.
favorite Stephen King.
Book or movie?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Each.
Both. There you go.
Yeah, take your pick. Whichever one pops in your head first. I haven't read too many of the books, a couple of the older
Me
ones,
neither.
but I've seen quite a few movies.
I would say book would be It, and movie would be Maximum Overdrive.
Okay.
I don't know that I can safely say. I know I've probably read part of some of his books. I don't know that I've read
A whole.
one.
Well,
as a
even the
whole.
short stories. Have you ever?
I don't know. I can't answer that part of it, which is weird because I like to read. But movie, probably either be Cat's Eye or Silver Bullet.
Oh, okay.
Silver Bullet was a good movie.
was a good
I
movie.
enjoyed it. I was just going to say it's a pretty underrated movie.
It really is.
Mhm.
Gary Busey's finest work.
Man, I'm telling you,
Crazy Uncle. Yeah, I can do that. I got the range.
nailed it.
I think movie, Pet Cemetery was always the
Oh,
That
it's
one is a
creepy.
good one.
best for me, which I don't want to see the remake.
No.
I've heard mixed reviews on the remake. I've heard it was good, but they changed too much to.
Like the little girl's the one that dies. And,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good pull of John Lithgow, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was quite excited with that.
Book, I think Misery I enjoyed that read. It was a long time ago.
I've read a lot of Stephen King books, actually. My dad was a fan, so he had quite a few of them.
My mom had Dean R. Kuntz.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've
reading
read one of his
those.
books, but they were very similar.
Oh, yeah. Similar style.
Actually, I think they co-wrote a book once, too.
Probably.
Probably under pseudo names
Really?
or whatever
No,
they
it was
call
like
it.
Stephen King and
Yeah.
Dean Koontz. I remember Mom.
She probably has it in the
Probably
basement.
has it, yeah.
Did you ever read those? I used to like the horror stories like that, like when you were in high school or anything. Did you read Christopher Pike? It was always, like teenagers going away for a weekend, somebody dies. Ooh.
No.
I know what you did last summer.
It was
No, you
it was
don't.
that, yes. But
No.
books.
When I was in
loved
high
those.
school, I read romance novels. Smut in words.
Whoa.
Read a few
I
of
know,
those,
right?
yes.
How many have you written?
0.
Erotic fan fiction.
How many aren't
Tina
finished?
Belcher.
1.
Is that R.R. Martin guy got anything else? Or
I
is
think
Game
so.
of Thrones his only deal?
Game of Thrones is his biggest.
Yeah.
I think he has some other ones, but since that caught on, he just kind of quit
The other.
the other stuff.
That'd be crazy to write books for like 10, 15 years, right? And then you come out with one that you're not even really that happy with, let's say, or whatever the case
But
may
it just
be.
catches.
And that's the one that catches,
Yeah.
right?
Well, fuck. What am I going to do now?
Then your whole but your whole catalog at that point can be sold.
Oh,
Make
Yeah.
that quick strike.
he had an interview once. He was talking about the rapid jump to fame. And he was like, I've been writing since like the early 90s, late 80s, like publishing books. He's like, I would go to the conventions where you would have like 3 fans maybe in a weekend come and have you sign a book. He's like, mainly it was like you play the card games with the other fucking authors in the back room. It was nice to escape, hang out, go with the wife. Sometimes it'd be like somewhere in the U.S., sometimes in Europe, and you get these little vacations.
That
So
would
sweet.
be nice.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
He's like, then one day.
That
I-
would be hitting it big for me.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm leaving the country.
And then one day you walk in, sit at your table, and 15,000 people are waiting. And you're like, the fuck just happened? He's
You
like,
guys are
Am
at the
I-
wrong table.
Right.
he's like, and then after that day of signing everything, you want to go explore the city. So me and the wife go out. I get mobbed. Everyone wants my autograph, my picture, this, that. My wife loves it because she just keeps on going, goes in the shops, does all this. He's like, so I should stop going out, man. It's like, that is like a double-edged sword, the fame.
Yeah.
But for going so long and like, oh, I'm looking forward to the convention, gonna go see so-and-so and so-and-so, have the card game.
I'm
Nice
gonna
little
try-
this.
easy
Right.
weekend.
Yeah. And then you're having like a fucking forum in front of all your fans in like Hall C where you talk about 45 minutes. Like, when you wrote this about the way the shoes that she wore in this book, were you referencing this in this book? No.
Well, she did wear the same shoes, though.
Or maybe they meant something. It's like, calm down.
Your shoes.
Yeah.
As a fan of Game of Thrones, what
Yeah.
question would you ask him?
See, I'm more of a fan of the show than the books.
Well, I'm sure he has quite a bit of input.
He
on
does,
the show.
I would say.
I'd say as much as dude doing Walking Dead has,
Well, I think, yeah.
at least in Fear and Walking Dead or Walking Dead, well, whatever. They gotta have some kind of input.
I don't
I'd
know.
ask him why dragons. I'd be like, why'd you pick
What's a
dragons?
fantasy setting?
Yeah, but it could have been anything. That's why dragons. That's it.
Leprechauns.
Why not dragons?
There you
I have
go.
no problem with it.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
that would be my question. And
I-
the first question would be, why the fuck are you putting so much wiener in your show? But after that,
Wiener, wiener,
Right.
wiener.
I think I would ask him more of a, like,
It's HBO anyways. Like,
yeah, I mean, they got to throw.
and it's
Yeah.
medieval times,
Yeah.
medieval
I'd ask him more
wiener.
questions, not so much about Game of Thrones, but like earlier, like he was at one of the first New York Comic Cons when it was just like 15 guys swapping books.
Right. There you go.
And he was like a lifelong Marvel fan. There's actually, I want to say, it's a issue of Thor that back then you could write in and ask Stan Lee and other people questions, and they would respond in the comic book. And he's published. One of his questions, he was talking about, oh man, Fantastic Four, this and that was the greatest. That had this, that had that. Jack Kirby did so great filling this, blah da 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 da. And Stan Lee's like, thanks for reading, blah da 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 da. And it's like a little thing between him and Stan Lee.
It was pre-Twitter.
Yeah. And it's just like, all right, what got you into comic books, and how much did those influence your writings? Not so much about like 3 dragons, huh? All right.
So wait, the girl is the mother of the dragons? What are you doing?
And the aunt of the... Wait, what?
It's going to sound like I'm mocking the show, but it's just my nature because I don't watch it. I'm sure it's a badass show.
I enjoy it.
I haven't met a person that said they didn't like it and watched it continuously, so.
I still remember before I watched any episodes.
4 gays.
4 gays. Bro! Dude, have you ever seen Game of Thrones? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, buddy. It's on HBO. I don't have HBO. Fuck, dude, you gotta watch this show, dude. What's it about? Oh, there's dragons, and there's this, and oh, man, there's that, and there's, like, swords and the fights and blah. I'm like, okay. And then the next day, dude, did you watch fucking Game of Thrones yet? Yeah, I told you I don't have HBO. Is that the one about the chair and the dragons? And I'd make fun of them about it for months. Then I house sat for you, and you guys had HBO at the time. And
Yeah.
I caught an episode.
Probably
and-
for that reason.
Yeah, I caught an episode, and I was fucking hooked. And then the next time I seen him, I was like, I watched 18 episodes of fucking Game of Thrones. He's like, I fucking told you, dude.
What'd you do this weekend?
Nothing.
I pissed in my chair. That's how much I didn't move.
It wasn't my chair.
And here we were blaming the dog.
Hey,
Man, poor Max.
he was
We
cool
caught
with
it by chance. It was like they were running a marathon of the first season
And
before the
prepped the
second
second,
season.
yeah.
And we just happened to be on that channel and
at the right time.
started watching it. Really, I think we only missed like the first episode of it, but I sat there like for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I
that'll
watched it.
happen.
Yours like, okay, HBO.
I was like, I like this show.
It's a good show.
I don't know why I don't. I don't take the time to watch it. I don't know why.
Because you don't sit down to watch
Anything?
really anything on
Cobra
TV.
Kai.
Yeah, but you don't
did that at
sit,
work,
You're
yeah.
not sitting on the couch and watching that. Like, okay.
No.
You don't
No.
sit
So
down on
1
the
out
couch
of
to
10
watch
shows.
anything. Survivor. We sit on the couch and we watch Survivor. That's the only thing
That and Walking Dead.
when it's on.
When it's on.
We did for Sons.
Mm-hmm.
We did for Lost. That's about it.
Survivor has always been there, though,
Yes.
through all of it.
Like
I
a
love it.
reassuring friend.
Most times a ridiculous friend.
It's gotten to the point now, though, where we like fast forward through most of it.
You just see the parts you need to.
Yeah, 'cause
Challenges
we DVR
and
it, so
tribal
we get,
council.
Yeah. Well, I like watching them.
Well, sometimes you got to watch for the stuff that happens when they're not doing it.
Yeah.
yeah, I like watching them bitch
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
on the island and all their little schemes and
Hey, when you
plots
see like
and
3 of
stuff.
them gathered together, you're like, all right, play.
Or one person scurries off. You're like,
Like, oh, they're
I
talking
see
about
you over
Becky
there.
again.
See you.
But we go when they cry. We're like,
Oh,
come
come
on.
on.
Yeah.
It's been
You signed
raining
up
for
for
3
this.
days and all we have is right. Yeah, I've seen this fucking show.
The
So have you.
family day. We're like, oh,
Oh, God.
cute. Okay, go.
I like seeing the food rewards.
Especially
Not
the
gonna
ones
lie.
where they like
They bribe 'em?
opt
Yeah.
out
Oh, my.
of the challenge.
Oh,
They
yeah.
feel safe, so they opt out of the challenge to sit and eat peanut butter and jelly. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
I'd probably do the same.
Right. I don't need a necklace.
If I
I,
had-
got
yeah.
PB and J.
No.
But I like the ones like they're like, who can stand on the thing the longest? Hey, you bitches like spaghetti? And they're like,
They
fuck,
drop.
fuck yeah, I love spaghetti. First one in the water gets the spaghetti.
Beers and pizza.
I know.
All you got to do is not participate.
And it's like, damn.
Oh, they'll get you.
Yeah.
I still think they should do that. Some type of show like that with teenagers. I think it'd be fucking great watch.
I don't know that
14
I wanna
kids
watch
die
a
in
bunch of
Aruba.
teenage drama.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be kind of rough.
As opposed to adult drama. I mean,
It's a little
Well,
different.
no, that's why I fast forward through it.
I think it'd be way
have time
more.
for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Like there wouldn't be a lot of strategy.
No.
it would be more
For
emotion.
teenagers?
Yeah,
It would be more based off emotion because that's what they're going through.
I would
Right.
like them
It'd
to
be
see
more
it'd be fun for me as a viewer.
instead of the physical challenge or
enough.
like obstacle course and that, have
Balance a
like
checkbook.
change this tire.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Like have them do like
Life
shit.
lessons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, how do I sew? Fuck, I got to sew this shirt together.
Oh, you'll learn.
Yeah.
The first day they would have to plant something.
And think about it.
You know.
They'd be on that show without their phone, without an electronic device. I think that alone would cripple them.
Oh, for sure.
Hell yeah.
It's like episode
How do I
1,
talk to
Fortnite
people?
dances.
Fortnite dances.
That's a new
They all
language.
go through Fortnite dance withdrawals. Stop flossing.
Fortnite. Ugh.
Gross.
Yeah, well,
It is kind of a double-edged sword, though, because I wish when we were younger we would have had that kind of interaction with people.
The communication.
The playing against people anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
You know,
Capability.
video
Could you
games,
imagine
right?
playing GoldenEye?
Oh god,
Against three
On an
random
international
people from
setting?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
that motherfucker chose Odd Job again.
God damn it.
Fucking boot him quick.
Get out of here, noob.
Now we're at the point where there are actually sports leagues where video gaming.
Major League Gaming is a thing.
Yes. Where you will play football in a league as if you were in, you know,
A football player.
Right. Yeah.
Huh. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Money.
I mean, yeah, if you're good at those games, yeah.
Call of Duty's a big one.
Oh yeah. Super Smash Brothers has been the leader
That's
of
a
the
big
league
one.
since like it started the Major League Gaming.
I
Really?
can see that.
What if is there a Pokemon you think for money? It's got to be somewhere in the world, right?
I would assume so.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Do you think Pokemon's that big overseas
Yes.
where it originated?
Oh yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
with all the anime and everything.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's why I wondered if it was still popular just because
Oh,
of
yeah.
the advances they've probably made in anime that we
Actually,
don't
in
even
the
see.
Pokemon Go, they actually have certain Pokemon. Well, they have certain Pokemon that are only regional. Like there's, I think it's Farfetch'd, a little bird holding a stick. You can only get that in Japan. It will not pop up anywhere else in the world.
No
for that game.
shit.
There's one for Asia. I think it's like an ox or some shit.
There used to be a little app that you could change
Oh, yeah.
your map so you could say you were in Japan to get that Pokemon.
All you'd had to do was look up the
A hack? Ooh.
Yeah, it was a secondary
I
one.
couldn't get it with my iPhone. I was pissed when it first came, when the Pokemon Go first came out, and like all my Android friends were like, "Oh yeah, I just do this." I'm like, "Well, fuck you."
Go to
man.
Santa Monica Pier and get like fucking water Pokemon, and then you're like, "Up, going to Japan. Check this out. Going here, check that out."
Gyarados.
Yeah, but you would have to go on and search like whatever city you wanted to go to or area. You would have to like get their coordinates, like 50 degrees west, da da da, and put
Right.
it into this app, and then you hit open on the app, and it opens Pokemon Go as though you were there.
Oh.
But they started getting admins or whoever to start running through and finding people using the odd IP addresses jumps for the accounts, and then you'd get automatic life ban.
Yeah.
For
Like
your
Alex Jones
Yep.
from Facebook.
Just wiped off the internet.
You're gone.
So it was a small blessing for me, but
Yeah.
Because you know you'd have been banned.
yeah, I probably would have.
And it does
You're
take
like,
the
this
fun out of the game.
iPhone in Detroit has checked in all over the world in the last 36 hours.
I
I'm
did
a
it.
traveler.
Turns out I did catch them all.
Turns out. I win, bitches.
Have you seen the video on the internet of the guy that sung the theme song?
Oh God, him singing it.
the theme song.
Yeah, he looks like a pizza delivery guy.
He
And then
looks
he
just
breaks
like-
into the song. You're like,
And
fuck, I
he's
thought
all
that was a girl
into
forever.
it, you
Oh,
know.
yeah. And did you know it's a full song?
Yeah.
It's like a 5-minute song.
With like lyrics.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I know there's gotta catch them all, whatever, but
Yeah,
there's like a full.
But like
Oh, yeah.
after the intro of the show, there's another 3 minutes of song.
Yeah.
Oh.
Keeps going.
Yeah.
And it's the video is like
Him
the
at the
intro
mic.
and then him at
He's
the
all
mic.
like, it's
Yeah.
like veins popping out of his neck. He's into it.
I mean,
Wonder how much they promised that dude on the back end money
Oh,
wise.
he probably goes to conventions and does autographs. Like the chick who does Ash Ketchum's voice is going to be at Motor City Comic Con.
Oh yeah.
oh, cool. Little
And,
tidbits.
and Ash is the main the
kid.
actual human.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
One of the actual humans.
There's more than one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Caesar salad.
Tom Ato. Had to watch the show.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry.
someone made a
Shut up,
funny little
nerd.
cartoon about it, and it's this kid sitting at a table, and there's a birthday cake, and then the mom's like, "Here's your present," and then it shows him at like outside on the porch, and she hands him like, "Here's a rat. Now go around to every country on Earth and don't come back till you're a champion." And at the
Okay,
next panel is
bye.
like the whole premise of Pokemon,
yeah, basically.
and you're like, "Yeah, that kind of is."
Go see that professor down there. I'll tell you where to go.
What else has been as popular as Pokemon?
He-Man, Pogs.
He-Man's not.
Pogs. I did
No,
run
but
across
I'm
some
talking
applied
longevity.
Oh, longevity?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Something that's still as popular as when it first came out.
Super Mario.
Yeah, Mario. You can count on.
Shit. There's probably a lot.
I mean, Pogs, that went away.
It
did.
Magic's been around a while.
Magic has
It
been around a
has.
very
That's
long
been
time.
been
yeah.
around for quite some time. I don't know what. I can't think of anything else that's made
There's
it that
probably a
long.
ton of shit, but
There he probably is.
to kind of change lanes a little bit, there is something I wanted to bring up because I thought it was amazing. I brought it up to Jess earlier today.
Oh, did you know?
So the actor Christopher Lee,
Oh yeah, you did.
the dad in Tim Burton, or not Tim, with Tim Burton's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the
Okay.
dentist. Here's a picture.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. That little guy.
Yeah. So I found on IO9 Gizmodo, it was 22 facts about the life and career of Sir Christopher Lee.
Hold on. You can't whisper into a microphone. It's not a whisper.
It's
at that
not how it
point.
works. Yeah, you're like, I'm going to tell you a secret.
She's not wearing headphones. She couldn't hear.
take a fat shit right now. I'll be right back. Pretend I'm still at the table.
That's why I looked at her like that, like, what?
That was pretty loud, Jess. Still can hear you. Anyway,
Sorry. Oh, shit.
episode 81. So try to
The title's going to be Whispers in a Mic.
So it was 22 facts about Christopher Lee. And I was like, 22, that's a lot. But they're fucking interesting. So he's in the Guinness Book of World Records for having the most screen credits, having been in 244 films and TV movies. And also, he was the tallest leading man at 6'5". He also had the most films with a sword fight with 17. His mom was an Italian Contessa, and through her, he was a descendant of Emperor Charlemagne of the Holy Roman Empire, and also related to General Robert E. Lee. Let's see, we'll cut through some of these.
I'd like to interject real quick. The
Yes.
tallest leading man in a movie?
Yeah.
Wasn't Shaquille O'Neal in a movie where he was like a genie or something?
Yeah.
I almost want to say he was. Yeah.
All right.
Well, how tall is Shaq?
It's got to be like 7 foot tall.
It's like the 7'1" or something like that.
Well, was he a leading man or was he just like?
Was that the Guinness
Book of World Records.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he no longer holds that record, but he did.
Well, it may have been like the most consecutive, like a part of being in the consecutive. It was like a most consecutive as the tallest.
He's been in a few more movies than Shaq.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say Blue Chips, but Nick Nolte's the leading man in that
He
movie.
is, yeah.
But I thought there was a genie movie. I thought it was called Shazam.
See,
It's called Shazam.
What's the?
I want to concur with that. I do.
See, that's a whole nother topic that. Could,
I'm not trying to derail
No,
what you
'cause,
got going on, but
there's a phenomenon where the large group of people remember something that didn't actually happen. I forget the name of it.
Oh.
And I think that movie is one of those things. Like that movie never happened, where he was a genie.
We all just made
It
up.
did, but it was called Kazam.
Okay.
You were close
All right.
though. Good pull.
Well, at least we're not crazy.
Yeah, that's
Right.
yeah.
Fuck you, Jay.
Anyway, at age 17, he saw the death of murderer Eugene Weidman in Paris, which was the last person in France to be publicly executed by guillotine.
Wow.
All right. During World War II, he joined the Royal Air Force, but wasn't allowed to fly because of a problem with his optic nerve. So he became an intelligence officer for the Long Range Desert Patrol, a forerunner to the SAS, their special forces. So he fought the Nazis in North Africa, often going on 5 missions a day. During that time, he helped retake Sicily, prevented a mutiny among his troops, contracted malaria 6 times in 1 year, and climbed Mount Vesuvius 3 days before it erupted.
This sounds like a fake news resume.
Doesn't it?
Oh, wait,
it gets,
just wait.
This is, it gets better.
It's like Forrest Gump.
It really is. At some point during the war, he moved from the LRDP, the Long Range Desert Patrol, to Winston Churchill's even more elite Special Operations Executive, which missions are still classified to this day of shit he did. But they did say he was involved in espionage, sabotage, reconnaissance, and occupied Europe against the Axis powers.
This sounds like the plots to all the movies he's been in. Like he's using
Coincidence?
that as his resume.
Lee never said
Well.
anything specific about his time in that particular job. I've seen many men die right in front of me. So many, in fact, that I've almost become hardened to it. Having seen the worst that human beings can do to each other, the results of torture, mutilation, seeing someone blown up to pieces by a bomb, you develop kind of a shell. But you had to. Otherwise, you would never won the war. See, by the end of the war, he received the commendations for bravery from the British, Polish, Czech, and Yugoslavian governments. Speaking both French and Italian, Lee spent his time after World War II hunting Nazis with the Central Registry of War Criminals and security suspects until he decided to give acting a try at the age of 25.
All that was before he was 25 years old.
Nuh-uh.
Jeannie's like, bullshit.
Yes, I call BS on all of that. That's insane.
Fact check your shit.
So, Christopher Lee was related to James Bond's creator and author Ian Fleming. They were step cousins. And Lee was actually one of Fleming's first choices for the role of Bond. But because Lee's World War II and SOC experiences, he, in theory, is the inspiration to James Bond. Both Ian Fleming's times as a spy during World War II and his step cousins. That's pretty fucking interesting.
It is. But
She's like, I still call bullshit.
Let's see. In the 1950s,
just on the time frame.
before he was fucking 25, he did all that shit.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like,
But
when
how
did
old-
he
how old was
start?
he?
Yeah. How old was he when?
I mean, we said
Obviously, if he
earlier
was
what-
fighting Nazis, it was World War II time.
During the late 70s and I think it was most of the 70s and early 80s, he was like typecast as Dracula. So he was always in the B horror movies as like a vampire or something like that. That was where he did the bulk of his movies.
Didn't we discuss that he died at what, 2017,
2015.
2015? And how old was he then?
I don't recall. Old.
In his 80s? Was
Yeah.
it? So I mean, could have
It's
did a lot
plausible.
of that
Yeah.
shit.
In the 1950s, he was
I don't
engaged
math or
to
anything, but
Henrietta von Rausen, daughter of Count Fritz von Rausen. The Count apparently didn't like Lee because he hired a private detectives to investigate the actor, demanding references. He also refused to allow his daughter to marry him unless Lee got the blessing of the King of Sweden. He did.
He's like the world's most interesting man.
Yes. So he also played the Bad Wizard in Lord of the Rings.
Saruman,
There you go.
Lord Saruman.
So Lee was a major Tolkien fan, the guy that wrote the books. And once a year, he would read the trilogy for the majority of his life. He was the only member of the movie cast who actually have met Tolkien, who randomly met him at a pub, then fanboyed out. But during their interactions...
Bro, I used to watch people getting blowed up, but your books,
fucking love him!
that gets my world going.
It's like my Game of Thrones. But apparently, like, they hit it off so well, Tolkien actually gave his blessing for him to play Gandalf in any future Lord of the Rings movie.
What?
Yeah.
That's like double bullshit.
Yeah, I know, it does. It just all seems made up.
It does.
So,
What side are you on right now?
Gizmodo.
Oh, okay.
She's like, is this satire?
You're on Wikipedia?
So, at the end, he gets stabbed, right, in the movie? Saruman.
Pretty sure.
All right, so the story's going around about, but it bears repeating. During the death scene in Return of the King, only included in the extended edition,
Fuck you.
to Lee's disapproval, director Peter Jackson was describing to him the sound people getting stabbed in the back should make. Lee gravely responded that he had seen people being stabbed in the back and knew exactly what that sound was.
No,
'Cause-
bro, I got this.
Yeah. It's like, apparently you haven't read my resume.
By the age of 25.
Do you know who I am?
So he was quite interested in the history of public executions and reportedly knew the names of every official public executioner employed by England dating back to the mid-15th century. Here's where it gets extra interesting.
There's more.
Yeah.
Layers on
Holy
top of
shit.
layers.
Onions.
He's always been a big metal fan, and he released his first full heavy metal album in 2010
Stop it.
at the age of 88, titled Charlemagne by Sword and the Cross, which won the Spirit of Metal Award from the 2010 Metal Hammer Golden God ceremony.
Pretty big deal for metal.
Yeah. He also made a metal Christmas album in 2012. He was the oldest metal performer and the oldest musician to ever hit the Billboard music charts.
Eat your heart out, Shatner.
Let's see. He was made Knight Commander of the Most Excellent Order of British Empire in 2009, Commander of the Venerable Order of St. John in 1997, made Commander of the Order of Arts and Letters by French government, which also Lipton, James Lipton, is also a member. And then he won the Bram Stoker Award for Lifetime Achievement in 1994.
How
This-
is there not like a college course about this dude? You know?
There might be
Why isn't
somewhere.
there a movie about this guy's fucking life?
Well, that's a lot to fit into a script.
It is,
man.
but I mean, but here's a
He is Forrest Gump,
Fact-
like you said.
Unless
Holy
you make
shit.
them just like flashbacks.
yeah. Fact 22. Last but not least, despite everything you've heard about the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, Christopher Lee was officially recognized as being the most connected actor in the world in 2008, again by the Guinness Book of World Records. He connects to virtually any actor in 2.59 steps.
How do they get like the 0.9 though? Why isn't it 3?
Math? I don't
Well,
know.
yeah, if it's an
It's an
average,
average.
and there's
Yeah, fair
a whole
enough.
bunch of 3s and a couple of 2s, you know.
All right. Again, I don't math.
I don't have the crayons to explain how math works. Right
I
now.
used to kick ass at the Kevin Bacon game.
Yeah.
I don't think I do anymore.
But I just thought that was some interesting shit that you wouldn't figure out about that guy.
Not from an actor like that.
Fuck no.
Was he dubbed a sir or a knight or whatever, like Jean-Luc Picard was?
Yeah. That was the commander of the
Oh, right.
excellent order of British Empire that's being knighted for England.
Then you answered my question.
Yeah. Sir Pat Stew is also a member of that.
Sir Pat Stew.
Love him.
Nice.
Wow. To go from all that to acting.
Just because, yeah. Why
We
not?
always
I'm
end
tired
up
of
with
being James
movies.
Bond. I'm going to go be Dracula for 40 movies. Fuck
But
it.
okay, let me rephrase that.
There
To
you
go from all that to being known only
Oh,
as
right,
an
right,
actor.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody knows him for all that other shit. They know him as an actor.
He spoke 6 languages, which he was a champion fencer. Like, there's a lot of shit about that gentleman's life. But I would like to believe if his mom was a Contessa, having title growing up, you also had some fucking pocket
Doors
change.
open.
Yeah, a lot of opportunity.
If you knew the King of Sweden to get his blessing to marry a fucking chick, yeah.
And there was no internet to distract
No.
people back
Send a
then.
raven.
So
Or a pigeon, maybe over there. It was a
Who
pigeon.
knows? It's coming over the microphone very well.
kind of like a whisper.
Pillow talk at CHC.
Jazzy nights.
Let's pillow talk our way through this beer.
Okay.
This is
handle this one?
No, because I've never heard of this company before.
Neither have I.
No.
I don't know if I'm saying it right. Altes?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's weird.
We're just gonna go for it here.
Yeah.
Altes Detroit Lager by Altes Detroit Brewing Company. It's a 4%er, pretty easy drinking. The description that is on Untapped just says lawnmower beer.
Perfect.
So if that doesn't tell you that this is quite a delicious beverage to have while doing the chores outside, a summertime beverage.
So we can get back to chorin.
So more time for choring.
It definitely feels like a beer you could just have in the cup holder of the riding lawnmower while
Yeah.
you're putzing around the yard.
It's not real heavy. It's pretty light,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not as light as like a Bud Light or something of that caliber. It's a little heavier than there. A mid-weight beer, I would say.
Think so?
I think so.
It's fair enough. I have no disagreements.
A solid beer taste. You drink it, you go, yeah, that's a beer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like taking your first drink of beer.
I'm drawn to the what it says on the can here, right? We are proud to bring back this brisk lager beer, first brewed over 100 years ago in Detroit. So, I would assume this is what beer tasted like 100 years ago.
One of the options,
I'm
Sounds
glad we're
fair.
alive today.
you know.
All these options for different tastes and whatnot we got going on. And this is what they brought. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
No disrespect. It's a tasty beverage.
It's pretty solid.
I'm going to go ahead and give it like a 1.75, though. I'm not going to
I'll give it a 2.
hit it out
It's
of the park
nothing.
with
Yeah,
this.
it's nothing like wow. It's tasty. I
The-
do like the simplistic design of the can.
Right, yeah. It's
That's my thought on it.
It's very just.
Extremely
Seeing it sit
basic.
there on the table.
Yeah,
It-
here we are. We're a
Or
beer.
on Grandpa's hand, something.
Yeah,
A Detroit tradition restored.
tastes way better than Stroh's. I will say that officially.
So if it's a Detroit tradition,
Yeah.
why would the description be lawnmower beer and not like working on your car? You
Like the
know?
Motor City side of it.
Right. Play that Detroit role here. Hey, you got to fix that muffler? Have an Alts.
As soon as I mow the grass, then I'm on it.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I like to think it falls under that umbrella without specifically saying like working on your car beer. I mean, it's just doing the fucking.
Maybe lawnmower beer hits different. I mean,
You could be fixing the engine of the lawnmower.
there
That's
you go.
true. That's true.
It doesn't just say you're mowing the lawn. It's a lawnmower beer.
Yeah, I guess if they were gonna go that way, they could have said a Motor City tradition instead of Detroit.
Detroit,
you
yeah.
know, that
Right.
makes sense. Okay. Either way,
It's a good one to have in the fridge just in case, I'd say.
yeah, it's not bad. Did you try it?
No.
Take a sip.
No, I like the one I've got.
What do you got?
What do you got?
What's taters?
Hobbitses.
I have Blakes Hard Cider, Wakefire.
Wakefire.
Yep, infused with Michigan cherries and orange peel. And I dig it.
It is pretty good.
I
Now,
like
does it
it.
have like a creamsicle taste or
No.
No,
Nope.
that's good.
It's got a good little cherry flavor. Not tart.
No.
Okay.
It's a good, easy drinker. I like it.
I've noticed Jess has had one in front of her for a while that's still unopened.
Well,
Well, she-
however, to be fair.
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 While Jeannie is drinking that, I was.
Oh, you got something too.
I
Yeah.
do. It's empty now.
Oh,
Well,
It's good too.
it is good. It's called Believe.
mm-hmm.
It's an apple mead by B Nektar.
Okay.
Their meadery.
It's always nice to have a meadery.
Heyo.
Why wouldn't you? You know, it's made in Ferndale,
Fashionable.
fashionable, and it says believe. Things exist you cannot see. Believe. A storm is brewing. This is the land of opportunity. Believe. All gods need to be worshipped. The old gods need you to believe. It's the label is something from a TV show on Stars called American Gods, which is really good.
It's a very good show.
Very good. I don't know the guy's name. Like I was telling Jeannie, it's if you've watched Orange is the New Black, it's Pornstache. He's a leprechaun, and the guy from John Wick,
He owns the club, the
Continental,
Continental, the old guy.
No clue.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry.
Winston.
It's a tasty mead, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it is
I
very
If I
try
bring
it.
up the picture of the guy, you'll be like, oh, that
Yeah,
guy.
you'll know him when
Probably.
you see him.
Probably.
But yes, it is a very tasty mead, and I like it.
We used the Funko Pop of him.
Last episode
Yeah.
with the crows,
Oh, that
the
dude?
ravens.
Yeah.
Are they ravens?
Yeah, the Ravens.
Because he's
Okay.
Odin in that. But yeah.
That's
anyway,
cool.
same show. But
Okay.
Different mead.
You're like, that's great.
Oh, that dude.
Yeah.
Told you.
Yeah. His kid in the movie We Are Marshall, he owned the restaurant or some shit that the little girl was dating his kid or something and died. Yeah. I remember he's been in a couple things.
He's been around.
Yeah.
Did you not watch John Wick?
He was also
No.
in Game
No.
of Thrones.
Oh,
You haven't watched fucking John Wick?
No.
you have.
I just
his-
dropped beer because of that.
Yeah, you have his Funko Pop, but you've never.
We didn't buy that one. That
You
was
know,
a gift.
That was
Sorry.
gifted.
Yeah, you guys, Jay brought that over.
Yeah.
I think it might have been the first time y'all were on the show. We did that one, and then you guys had the Strawberry Blonde or whatever from Arbor Brewing Company, and we did the Labyrinth Funkos with that beer, and then we had John Wick. That was the first time you two
Yeah.
were on the show.
Very well could have been, yeah.
Last summer or spring.
I know what you did last summer.
Hey-o.
Well, yeah, because Jessica's Facebook memory today was a year ago when we laughed about gorals.
That's been in my head
Yeah,
the
it
whole
was.
episode.
Good, it should be.
Gorals.
That's good.
All in all, some pretty tasty beers tonight.
Yeah.
Yep,
And a mead that tasted like sparkling apple juice.
it did.
John, I think, crushed it when he described it as a drink your parents would let you have when you're 13 at
Listen.
New Year's Eve.
I would take this over Zima any day.
What if there was Jolly Ranchers involved?
I'd still take this.
Yeah.
Knowing what I know now, yeah. You can keep your Jolly Ranchers and your Skittles.
So do we have anything else we want to get into tonight, or anybody
Jay,
else?
you don't have any Florida man for us today?
I could bring one up.
Let's find a Florida man.
Let's find a Florida man for the road.
All right.
Let's all find a Florida man.
Oh.
Team effort.
Should we do the birthday thing?
You can.
I tried that.
It
It,
didn't
didn't
work
really
well.
work.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Mine was, I forget now. I think somebody, like a neighbor, broke into their house to lay on the couch and sleep with their cats. That's what came up on my birthday.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, man, it's not meth.
There's no alligators involved. I don't want to read this.
Florida man arrested after inviting police officer in to smoke a bowl with him. That's just being a good neighbor.
It reminds me of Brad Pitt in True Romance.
Yeah.
You wanna
hit
hit
this? Don't condescend me, man. Florida man Arthur Crancio just wanted officers to smoke a bowl of his proudly homegrown weed.
I mean, when you know your product is good, I mean,
A direct quote: "You gotta smoke a bowl with me, please."
that's networking.
Florida man stung 100 times trying to save his dog from bees. The dog dies.
See, that's sad.
That is sad.
Way to bring us down.
Florida man accused of firing pee-filled squirt gun at woman.
Seems legit.
Florida man gets $37,500 after officer thought donut glaze was meth.
Did you see the bunny costume, the fight with the guy in the bunny costume?
Yeah, he just beat
Apparently
the
it's
shit.
in Florida.
Oh, is it? That makes sense. It was around Easter time.
Did you see the real Captain Ron story in Florida?
No.
Florida, a barefoot bandit steals the boat with the victim still on board. Real life Captain Ron.
Damn.
Look at me. I am in
The
charge.
captain now. Florida man arrested after he attempted to pay for his McDonald's order with weed.
You got to hit this boat with me, man.
Earlier that day,
Right? You wonder if he tried to bribe McDonald's with weed and they called the cops. So the cops go to his house and he's like, you want to hit this?
He's like, no,
before we
seriously,
go,
it's some
man?"
good shit. You got to try it. I grow it myself.
pay for my McDonald's. I'll
Right,
let you
man.
hit this.
I got 2 Big Macs for like $1 gram, bro. Come on. You got to hit this. It'll change your life.
Florida man threatened to behead Senator Bernie Sanders, quote, ISIS style.
Whoa.
Ouch.
Yeah. Sorry, Bernie.
Somebody's feeling the burn.
Florida man sentenced for smuggling turtles in candy wrappers and in his socks.
Seems
Smuggling
legit.
turtles.
In candy
It
wrappers?
said in candy wrappers.
Can be some fucking small turtles.
Baby turtles.
Ah, wee little turtles.
Sea turtles.
Florida. Keep representing down there, y'all.
You're doing God's work.
If anybody listening to this podcast is
But what
in
God?
Florida,
This is true. That's a good
please send us links to the stories from Florida that we don't have access to. Ones that might not make the internet. They might not be on Facebook or Twitter, Florida Man accounts. Send us some. I would love to read submitted stories. And actually, anybody listening in any other state that has some crazy ass fucking
Ooh.
story that would, rival a Florida Man story.
If you have some of your
Send
own.
'em.
Big plastic cow vanishes from the steakhouse. Florida man offers free food for its return. That might be a good deal.
You got to try this steak, man. It's awesome.
The cows are all fucking homegrown on weed, man.
They do have bees that they have I mean, pollinate using weed, and they have like honey weed and from the pollen or the honeys that the bee makes.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you actually taste or smell the honey?
I've never had it.
Or is it just
but
like,
I've
yeah,
read
that's
articles.
weed? Okay. Because, like, people have,
I
like,
would guess it still tastes like honey, though.
the weed, I would think it would just taste like weed.
Isn't it? She's talking about the honey.
Yeah. The bee,
Oh.
They pollinate
I'm thinking-
the weed, but
Okay.
they still
Take-
make honey. She's talking about the honey. Like,
Right.
the honey's made the same.
So would the
I
honey
would
be
think.
like an edible at that point?
like a sugar. It's what how
Huh.
it's used now.
All right.
So they could use it to make like edible candies, suckers, different things.
Oh.
Is there THC in the pollen, though?
I don't know how any of that works.
I don't know. I don't know.
If not, they could add it later. I don't.
Well, I mean, I don't know anything about growing it.
No.
Like, I don't-
I'm not a farmer.
Homework.
your next assignment.
It's our summer goal, Jess.
There you go. Crops are bountiful this year.
You got to grow one. Just one.
I'd rather get bees.
Maybe that. Oh.
No,
I think-
thank you. I don't want anything to do with bees.
That's fair.
enough, yeah.
Yeah.
It's episode 81, huh?
That's right. Full of twists and turns.
Yeah, we jumped around a bit.
Well, on that note, we should probably call it an evening. It's been fun.
As always.
Episode 81.
81.
Yeah. 19 more, right?
We're getting there.
Did I math that right?
Hashtag math.
Get your crayons out.
What number would we have been on a year ago that Jess and I was on?
Our first one?
Did
A
we say
year?
it was our first one? What number was it?
Was it 25?
That sounds about right. 25.
25 or
I think
26.
25 was our first one.
Yeah.
Nice poll. 25. Ooh.
Oh, how time
Now
flies.
do the math. What's 25 from 81?
I don't know.
Okay.
A little more than 3/4.
56.
No.
You're going the wrong way.
No,
You said 25 from 81.
would be 56.
Oh, you're going backwards, so you're minus. Not
That's how you go back.
How many
I
episodes?
thought he meant like ahead.
No, how many episodes in between 25 and 81? I know you've done other shows,
meant
but
how
the
close
first
you
time
are.
in this
Okay.
one, it'd be 50. I think it's 56.
Again, I don't have the crayons
Yeah, it'd be
for this.
56.
Nobody
Stop it.
has the crayons for
Stop.
this.
No mathing.
I don't need crayons.
But what color crayons would we be getting?
You get like one
Like,
of
because
those.
I noticed you got 4 markers over there.
It's true.
You get that one.
Ooh.
Do my maths.
Diet teal.
Oh, the teal one?
Seafoam green for the folks at home.
I would go with the seafoam green, yeah.
I know my truth.
I know what I'm about, kid.
Next time you're on, we're going to go over words that are made up because it just drives her bananas.
It does a bit. A lot,
Quick example,
actually.
Comcastic.
What?
That's Comcast.
Crustomer.
That's an old one.
That is. Crustomer.
Yeah, Crustomer, Comcastic, was it Comcastic?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I like,
I
I
would
like that
use-
face.
I would use Crustomer over Comcastic.
See,
Here's the deal.
back in the day when Comcastic came out, it really bugged me. Crustomer now I kind of find funny.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Well.
use it all the time, but if I heard it once in a while, haha. But still,
Here's
If
your
it fit the
giggle.
bill of what you were
the
describing.
made-up words just bugs me.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Stay tuned, folks. We'll get to that episode later on.
Grinds my gears.
There it is. So we got a bunch of drinks we need to shout out here real quick.
Blake's Hard Cider.
Blake's Hard Cider.
Wakefire.
Wakefire.
Good
Okay.
stuff.
B Nectar.
B Nektar Meadery.
What is the name of the product?
Believe.
Believe.
Believe. Okay.
Then we got.
Altes.
Are you saying it right?
I have no idea if I'm saying it right.
I think it's Altes.
Altes. It sounds classier.
It
We'll say
does.
Altes for
Gives
Wouldn't
it
there
a
be
little
two L's
pizzazz.
for Altes though?
There'd be like
Maybe
an
not.
accent mark, maybe.
It's just a soft L.
Or that would be like alts.
I was saying alts.
That's
'cause
what
it's
I
easier.
think that might be right.
We'll say Alts or Altes Detroit Brewing Company for their Alts or Altes Detroit Lager.
That's so bad.
It is horrible, isn't it?
Just Google it, damn it.
And have
Pronounce
Google
Does it have
robot
a-
voice it for you. Altes.
Everything is another stellar selection. You're getting good at that.
Thanks.
I'm thinking though,
It only took me 81 episodes.
Hey, practice makes perfect.
we should switch it up for 82 and purposely pick one that we don't think we're gonna like at all.
Oh God.
Like just
Ooh,
pick the
grab
most.
one of those pineapple ones.
I can't do that.
We should.
But
We
if
have.
that's
We
gonna
should.
Be, no. If
yeah.
that's going to be a theme, then you have to.
I don't want to.
Well, then I will purchase it and bring it, and you will have to drink it.
I mean, I'll buy it if that's the case.
No, it's
I
not so
just-
much about buying it; it's the drinking.
It was by
it.
Blake's, too.
I'm
Yeah.
not a pineapple
Really?
person.
Pineapple and sage.
Me
I
neither.
didn't know if you'd be a fan
It's
of
probably
that. so
I
gonna
hate
just grabbed it.
cinnamon. Yeah. I don't
But
know.
I've noticed a
Sounds
trend
like
in
I
our
would
shows.
sniff it and then try to drink
What is
it.
that trend?
We're always giving positive reviews,
Next time.
This is true.
and that's not a
Yeah.
bad thing.
No.
The game.
But I'm
but
thinking
we're not always like, oh, this is the greatest beer.
Yes.
Like I gave this one a 2
right.
out of 5. And
Yes.
But I think when I'm selecting beers, anyways, I'm looking in the store and I'm like, if I see 3 that I know I'm not going to like and one that might be kind of cool,
I
I'm
take the
taking
one I'm
the
gonna
one.
Yeah, I always pick something I'm interested in drinking.
Right.
I don't want to crack something, Jared's mom, and then take a sip and then just leave it sitting there because
That
it's not my
happens to
cup
me
of
a
tea.
lot.
This is true, but then I have 5 other beers that are just sitting there, and it's like, well,
The amount of traffic we get through this studio now,
eventually, yeah, that
It'll
beer
be-
will clear out.
it ain't going to last long. Especially with the people that come through.
Oh yeah,
Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and call it an evening. We want to thank all the listeners for checking back in. We'll see you soon.
episode 82 coming at you.
Woo, ladies, appreciate it. It's been fun.
Big thank you.
Always fun.
Oh yeah.
Any parting
been
words
fun.
for the listeners?
We've got big plans for y'all.
Yeah, we just totally made plans while you guys talk beer.
Oh.
Hopefully the listeners hear it
later.
because
Somebody can hear it.
They whispered it so no one
Right.
could hear.
We totally whispered it.
Sorry about that one. Well played, Jeannie.
all right, we'll get out of here now. We want to thank everybody. Thank you, ladies. It's been fun.
Did you say thank us?
Thank us, yeah.
You're welcome.
Just checking. Yeah, yes, thank us. That's good.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see y'all next time.
Should have said cunt.